Hi! The new Captain America movie just came out. You know, the one with the actor who says he doesn't like Captain America representing America.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations.
Let's talk about it. First of all, this video only has light spoilers for the film. I'll save the spoiler talk for the end when we'll eat our vegetables. I'll let you know when we start talking about spoilers. I also get a bit rambly, so forgive me if I'm all over the place, but let's start with characters. Where better else to start than with Sam Wilson? Now, there's a lot of debate about Sam Wilson, if he's the right person to take up the mantle of Captain America after Steve Rogers' retirement in Avengers Endgame. And while superheroes being used as a mantle is nothing new, it rarely works. The only character I think it has worked with was Robin from DC, and maybe Spider-Man, although that's more of different variations of Spider-Man from different times, places and dimensions. How is Sam as Captain America? Flat. Honestly, I've never been able to look past Sam as more than a side character. A good one, but still, it doesn't help that I never really thought he was in any real danger in this film. Everything just comes so casually for him. And that snarky Marvel humour doesn't help. Even when he's fighting a Hulk, not a spoiler, it was in the trailer and poster, I never feared for his life. I was kind of hoping the Red Hulk would win, because Sam is quite boring. What doesn't help is Sam doesn't have any super soldier serum, so the writers feel the need to compensate him with other heroes' technology. He has Captain America's shield, the real one. He still has his Falcon wings, only now they're filled with vibranium. You know, the stuff that they use for Black Panther's suit. And he has nanotechnology, son. Same stuff used for Ant-Man and Iron Man. He feels like a hodgepodge of all different heroes, which doesn't help make him feel unique at all. That and his fight scenes are really inconsistent. He can take out a whole group of armed men easily and then struggle with one big henchman. It's like this throughout the film. His character arc is just the same from Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is a terrible TV show, by the way. Is he the right choice to be the new Captain America? It's repetitive and boring. And the way they try to justify him being Captain America in the film is by everyone calling him Captain America. He's at a bar, and even the barman says, "Here you go, Cap." All the terrorists in the film say, "Captain America."
You have to stop calling them terrorists.
Not the second one or any of that, just Captain America. Even when Ross is trying to insult him, he even has to say, "You're Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers."
You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
And the film abuses the amount of shield poses to really hammer that point home. It just makes it feel all so insecure. I can say more, but I don't want to drag things out. Let's move on to the new Falcon, Joaquin Torres. This is going to be a really easy character analysis. He's a bitch. Thunderbolt Ross. The last character I'm going to talk about is the one I have the most conflicting feelings on. William Hunt originally played Ross in the MCU, but due to his unfortunate passing, they decided to recast him with Harrison Ford, which I usually wouldn't mind, but Marvel made such a big deal out of not recasting Chadwick Boseman after his unfortunate death. So I don't see why the same courtesy was not extended here. The cynic in me thinks Marvel just saw this as an opportunity to get a bigger star in. But part of me doesn't want to complain too much, because this is Ross's film. The story revolves around Ross, the main villain is tied to Ross, the character development all goes to Ross. He's the most interesting character, which makes it all the more confusing because the film doesn't know how the fuck to treat him. Sometimes they treat him as if he's on a redemption arc, and other times they treat him like a straight up villain. This ties into a thing I've not brought up yet, This film was massively reshot, and it's obvious, because there are some scenes that just don't flow. Editing choices that don't make much sense, adding new characters in, other characters feel like they should have had more screen time. There are some lines that are obviously ADR. I bring this up because it's so obvious that Ross's character was completely changed from what they had planned. If I had to guess, there was meant to be a lot more politics in this film. Not only has Marvel been getting more political as time goes on, but also The Falcon and Winter Soldier was full of politics.
You've got to do better, Senator. You've got to step up.
They also make Ross the president. You can trace all this behaviour back to 2016, where a certain orange man started living rent-free in every Hollywood writer's brains. I'm guessing a lot of the political stuff was cut out. Marvel probably didn't want to do it this time, because it divides audiences. And Marvel has realised that that's not a good business strategy. Who knew? Going back to the film, more specifically Ross, and more specifically Harrison Ford. I don't know if this was a good performance or not. He's not phoning it in like he has done in the past, but he's not giving it his A material. There are some scenes where he's trying, but there are other scenes, especially when he's showing Hulk traits, where he just isn't trying. Hard to say, but I will say, I wasn't bored watching Harrison Ford. But sadly, the rest of the film can't be as interesting as him. Let's talk about the plot real quick. Ross is trying to sign a deal with a bunch of countries to share the new metal, adamantium, that is coming from the giant celestial out of the ground. Hey, they finally remembered it. While some terrorists are trying to do terrorist things.
You have to stop calling them terrorists.
Tough shit, they're terrorists. And while everybody's doing that, there's a shadowy figure in the background pulling all the strings. Ooh, mysterious. It's not good. The story keeps moving at a fast pace, so you never have time to actually think about how dumb the story is. There are plot holes you can drive a bus through if you just have 10 seconds to think about it. Really gives me Rise of Skywalker vibes. Just like that film, the action's pretty bad here too. Too much CGI, and bad CGI at that. As I said before, Sam feels invincible, so there's no tension there. Some scenes go on for too long. There's a lot of quick cuts. At one point, this small lady beats the shit out of about 10 muscular dudes. If you're going just to see some cool action, this ain't it. Honestly, The Falcon and Winter Soldier had better action than this. And the whole film just feels kinda soulless. I'm getting kind of bored just talking about it. If you need my final thoughts, it feels like a bad extended episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, minus all the politics. And with that, I want to jump into spoilers! Spoiler warning in 3, 2... Man, I can't believe they managed to restore Steve Rogers' youth so he can take up the mantle of Captain America once more. I'm kidding. But do you remember that mysterious shadow figure I talked about? Well, here's what he looks like. Yeah, this is meant to be the leader from the comics. Set up all the way back in the Incredible Hulk from 2008. My God, I've had dogs that have died since then. This character makes no sense. Supremely intelligent, he can mind control people with their phones if he has their brain scans. Yeah. Yet he never thinks to do this to Sam or Ross throughout the entire film. There's a point where he says he doesn't understand Sam, and Sam can foil his plans because he just can't read his actions, even though the whole start of the film is him perfectly reading his actions. The president sends Sam to stop a bunch of terrorists, and then the president invites him to a meeting or an event, and Sam only goes there if Isaiah comes with him, which apparently the leader had anticipated because he used his eye to try and assassinate the president, but not really. It makes no sense. It's convoluted, and it's for plot. The whole point is that he wants to expose Ross for all the terrible things he's done in his past. So mind control Ross then and make him admit to all the terrible things he's done on the television. You have the evidence, but your plan is to stress Ross out by nearly starting World War III, so he'll get mad and turn into a Hulk you made by feeding him gamma pills. And when his plan doesn't work, he surrenders himself for no reason. All he does in the end was play a recording between Ross and him, and that works. There's no reason he had to get arrested for it to work. And there is this stupid line where he says, "I'm the hero."
You look goofy.
He says this after he just murdered someone. There's another scene where he breaks into someone's house and guns down his entire family.
You look goofy. You look stupid.
If you think any of this makes him sound intimidating, he isn't. There's a scene where he's shouting after one of his plans got foiled, and I just started bursting out laughing. It's so ridiculous. He also looks like he's been stuck in a freezer for too long. He looks like one of the Green Giant's hernias. He looks like if Peter Capaldi in the Suicide Squad got mouldy. Okay, I'll stop. Not too much else to talk about. Sam fights Ross as Red Hulk. Give credit, it was nice seeing a Hulk smash stuff again. We haven't seen that since they turned Mark Ruffalo into a bigger bitch. Hulk smashing stuff tickled that nice part of my brain, you know. The CGI on the Red Hulk somehow looks bad and good at the same time. But in the end, Sam gives him another terrible speech to calm Ross down, and then they ship him off to prison, where his daughter Arwen shows up. The end. Oh, and there's also some half-assed post-credit scene to say the multiverse is coming. Really don't care about that bullshit. So yeah, that was Captain America: Brand New World. It wasn't as bad as some other Marvel films, and it wasn't as terrible as all of their TV shows. It's just kind of a Poundland version of The Winter Soldier. Yeah. So, like and subscribe if you want me to do more of this. As always, this is Forever Marv.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than